Okay, today we are learning substitution and elimination. So before we have learned about the simultaneous linear equations, yeah, and also about the graph. So we can solve linear equations using graph, right? Now we are going to learn how to solve linear equations using calculation instead of graph. And there are two methods for that. We call it substitution, and the other one is elimination. So the goal of the substitution and elimination method, yeah, is to completely eliminate one of the two variables in the linear system. So we know that linear equations have two variables usually, right? X and Y. So we can find the x by eliminating the y, and we can find the y by eliminating the x. Okay. So for substitution, we're gonna do substitution, yeah, as the name says. And for elimination, we are going to do addition or subtraction, yeah, between the two equations. Let's just jump right away to the example. So look at the left picture. I have this question. So x minus 2y equals 4 and x plus 2y equals 16. So we are going to solve this, yeah. Uh, Means that we are going to find the x and y by using the substitution method. So if you look at the picture, firstly I rewrite the equation and I put 1 and 2 there, number 1 and number 2, means that the first one is, we call that the equation 1, or the first equation, and the second one we're going to call that the second equation. So whenever I put the mark number 1, the one in the bracket, that means we are going to write the first equation and we're going to do something about it. So right below that, you can see I write the number 1. So we're going to do something with the first equation, which I did. So minus 2y equals 4. So what we can do here is we can move the minus 2y to the right side so we can get the x. So we isolate the x on the left side so we can get the x alone. Or another way of saying is we write the x in terms of y. So x is 4 plus 2y. Okay, that's it. And below that, we are going to do something about the second equation. So I rewrite the second equation, x plus 2y equals 16. Now, what we're going to do here, we are going to do the substitution. So on the first equation, we already got x equals 4 plus 2y. Now we're going to replace the x with the 4 plus 2y. Okay, so below that, you can see 4 plus 2y, and then plus 2y again equals 16. Is the result of our replacement. So the 2y, there are two y's there. So 2y plus 2y equals to 4y. And from here, I can already find the y because there's no x anymore. Yeah. So again, remember the goal of substitution and elimination is to completely eliminate one of the two variables so we can find the other one. So here we move the 4 to the right side. 16 minus 4, 12. And then finally 12 divided by 4, 3. Okay. And then take a look at the right side. So now after we can find the y, yeah, we are going to find the x. So we are going to do the same procedure, except look at that. For the first equation, instead of isolating the x, we are going to isolate the y. So instead, I'm going to move x to the right side, which result in minus x, yeah. And then we have negative 2y here. So we're going to move negative 2y again, become over negative 2. because it was negative 2 times y, right? Times, so multiplication, when you move it to the other side, it will become division. So y equals to 4 minus x over negative 2. Okay, and then go to the second equation, x plus 2y equals 15. Now, the thing here is the x is just will be x, and now we replace the y. So y is 4 minus y over negative 2. And look at below. So what we can do here is, what I did here is I cancel out the 2 and negative 2. So I divide both by 2. So the 2 is gone and the negative 2 become negative 1. So 4 minus x over negative 1 will be negative 4 plus x. So they both just change the sign, right? So it will become x plus negative 4 plus x. Now, the, the two x's, x plus x will become 2x, and the plus negative 4 will become just minus 4, because we know when plus uh, meets negative, it will become minus. So, and then there's no y anymore here. So there we go. We can just, yeah, move the negative 4 and then finally move 2. Then we'll get x equals 10. Just like that. Okay, that's it for the substitution method. Now, we are we are almost finished, but not really there, because I'm going to show you a bit of shorter way, a bit easier way. So this is the first thing we did, and then this is the second thing we did, right? First finding y and then finding x. Now, the easier way that I want to show you is, after we finish finding y here, we can go directly to this, the one below. So what's the difference between this and this? And by now you can see we have the same result here, x equals 10, like this. So what's the difference? Now, instead of doing the same procedure as when we are finding the y, after we get the y equals 3, right? We can just choose one of the equation. So we can just put in the y. So we replace the y with 3. Oh, actually, I can zoom in here. Oh, I just realized that. Okay. So now it's a bit long. So I'm going to just make it short. So I'm going to choose the first equation, which is x negative 2y equals 4. This or this. Yeah, we change that to this, right? This is the same thing. So let's take x equals 4 plus 2y. Now, x equals 4 plus 2y. Well, we already know the y is 3, right? So it's just the same as saying x equals 4 plus 2 times 3. 2y is 2 times 3, right? Because y is 3. So 4 equals 2 times 3, 10. And below is the example if we take the second equation. Okay, so you don't need to do both. You can just choose. So if you were choosing the first equation, the working will be just this short. Yeah. The other thing that I write is just for additional explanation. So compare from this. This is the first procedure. Yeah, this is the must. And the second one, you can choose between doing this and this. Only this short. So I recommend you to do this. Okay. Now we are going to the elimination method on the right side. Yes. Now I have the same problem. I have the same question here. Okay. So Look at that. Just from seeing it, you can already compare that is much, much shorter, right? Okay. So what we are doing here is we either add or subtract the equation. So the first thing we're going to do is add first. So plus. So after we put the addition sign, so we're going to add from the top to below. So x plus x, 2x, negative 2y plus 2y is just 0. Yeah, if you have question about that, you need to review your addition and subtraction about negative numbers. Okay, I'm not gonna explain it here. So 4 plus 16 is 20. Then 20 divided by 2, 10. And then the second one, we're gonna do subtraction. So this time, x minus x, 0, and negative 2y minus 2y, negative 4y, and then we get y equals 3, which is just exactly the same answer with these ones. So yeah, you tell me which is better. So elimination by far should be much, much better. Uh, okay, and then lastly, we have another method. Actually, this the third method. I call it substitution and elimination combined. So substitution elimination. So I have another example here. The difference is, firstly, we do the elimination because why we do the elimination first? Because by now you already know the reason. Because elimination is much easier and shorter. So I have this question here. Now we can choose here whether to do addition or subtraction, right? If you can see here, if we do the addition, we are doing nothing good because again the goal is to eliminate one of the two variables. If we do addition, this will be 6x, this will be 13x, 13y. So none of them is eliminated. So how can we find x or y? We can't, right? So we can do subtraction because we know the 3x will be eliminated, and then we can get the y. Hmm. So, yep. Um, okay. The top one here actually is still elimination method. So for the second one, we are trying to find the x, yeah, but still with the elimination method. Now, we need the x right now, right? So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna try to eliminate the y. But the coefficient of the y is different, right? One is 7, one is 6. So how can they be eliminated? The trick here is we can times both equation with a number that we want. So we're gonna want to times the top one with 6 and the bottom one with 7. Why? So they both have the same amount of y. So it's like the least common multiple, the LCM. So we find the LCM, and then we are trying to manipulate this equation becoming this. So the y is the same now, so we can subtract again. So it's not always addition and subtraction. Sometimes with elimination method we can we will want to use subtraction or addition and addition to both. Yeah. So not always one addition, another one subtraction. Not always like that. So subtraction here, so the y is dead, and we can find the x finally. Yep. Now the bottom one, finally, the substitution combined with elimination. So again, elimination first, same like top one. Now for the second one, we are doing the substitution. So instead of elimination like this, we take one of the equation. I choose the first one. I chose the first one, and then I just replace the y with 13 that we got, same like the substitution method, right? So we can you can choose the second equation. It's just that I happen to choose the first one. It's just the same. Okay. Now you can see that we have the same result, right? So now Okay, we have another example of elimination substitution combined. So for this one, we have to do this trick. We don't have any choice because if you want to find the x, no, look at both x and y. Both of them have different coefficient, right? X have different coefficient, y has different coefficient. So we cannot directly use the subtraction or addition, right? So here I choose to times the top one with 3 and the bottom one with 1. Means that it stays the same. So I can eliminate the x. So if you want to eliminate y, can you do it? Of course. So you can times the top one with 4 and the bottom just times with 1, stay the same. So it'll be both 8y and then you subtract later, the y will be dead and you can find the x. Just the same thing. It's just that for me, I happen to choose to find the y first. Just the same. So, and then after that, after I get the y, I choose the first equation and to replace the y with 1/2. Then I can find the x already. Yeah, there those are two examples of elimination and substitution combined method. So now the question comes, which one is better? The substitution method only or the elimination method only or the substitution combined with elimination? Well, the popular answer that I can give you is substitution combined with elimination. Or to be exact, elimination combined with substitution because you need to, in order to be using this method efficiently, you must do the elimination first and then later the substitution. So this is the most popular and like the better way, the best way in general. So uh, if you are just solving one or two problems, you cannot feel it. But if you're doing a lot of this kind of question, you can really feel it. That when you compare mostly the elimination and substitution method combined will give you the better performance, like easier and faster. Okay, and lastly, mhm, okay, the question that involve fractions. So for this one, if you meet this type of question, you just cross multiplication them. So 4 times x plus 1. So 4x plus 4 and then equals y plus 2 times 3, 3y plus 6. And then uh, the thing you want to do is always moving x and y, making sure x and y is on the left side. So this one in the right side, move it to the left side, negative 3y. And you want to also make sure that the constant, yeah, the number without the letter is on the right side. This is like the standard form and it will allow you to solve these linear equations better. And for this kind of fractions, notice that it is kind of different with this one. This one, the x and y is separated uh, on the top and on the bottom, while this one separated on the left and on the right side. So this one has a different kind of like treatment to it. So the thing you want to do here is just to times with a number that will allow you to eliminate the denominator. So turn it into like, the usual form, the whole number. So we have over 3 and over 9. That's why we know we need to times with 9. So this one, the 9 just cancel out. So become just negative y. While for 2 over 3 times 9, you can cancel out the 3 and you still get the remaining 3 to times with 2. So 6x, yeah. You know about it already, how to times this thing. So while for this, we only have over 3, that's why we times 3. And then there you go, the usual form. So just the usual way. I'm doing elimination combined with substitution here. And then that's all for the substitution elimination method. I hope you understand. And I'm going to see you on the next discussion.